Well, all right, let's talk about Aidan O'Connell as the Raiders are currently in the middle of their quarterback controversy. Head coach Antonio Pierce has said after the next game he will make his decision on who the starter is going to be. So that's how things are going to work. Obviously, O'Connell and Minshew fighting for the job. So in today's video, I want to talk about the guy who was the starter of this game, Aidan O'Connell. How did he play? Did he do anything to try to win the job? Did he do anything to potentially lose the job? We didn't get to see him a ton, but we did get to see a decent amount. So let's get into it. I think a play like this is the main thing we saw from O'Connell, which is just doing the simple stuff. And this is kind of what he does in general, is I feel like that's a pretty good job at getting rid of the football quickly. That's kind of what I feel like in many ways he's almost known for at this point. It's a zone coverage play. You have a player who's going to just try and get into a gap in coverage over the middle. O'Connell is going to take the snap. He looks in that direction right here. Is there a window for this throw to be made? Sure. You probably would have to be making it right now. Got to get it there quickly. And if you look at O'Connell, he's in the throwing motion now. He is getting rid of the ball now. So again, it's the timing and being able to get rid of the ball quickly that has worked so far at the NFL level. Again, it hasn't been perfect, but this is when things do run well, it's usually because of stuff like this. As you see, he makes the accurate throw and they're able to pick up a first down right there. Again, it's a simple play, but to be an NFL starter, you have to be able to make the simple plays, right? And that's, I think, what they liked about O'Connell and why they ultimately didn't decide to trade up and get a quarterback, right? They could have done that if they wanted to. Probably would have been a heavy price. That's another aspect. But I think this is part of why they said, you know what, let's just stay where we're at and draft Brock Bowers. There was a play like this, which is, not the highest degree of difficulty play. Still worth talking about, though, I suppose. It's a zone coverage concept. You see the route on the screen. You run a play action, get players to move in over the middle, have someone go over the middle. And, there is an element sometimes in these plays of, okay, this is a preseason play. Aidan O'Connell is going to take the snap. He runs the play action, and you see how much the Vikings get fooled by this. I mean, this is as open as you will ever see a player in an NFL game. Even in the preseason, this is incredibly open for that. Still, though, it's a well-timed throw. He gets it there. And again, I mean, if you're missing these throws, well, then it's going to be like, okay, you're not the starter. So you're at least passing the test, even if the tests aren't that difficult to pass, right? Which is always important. But again, there was a lot of stuff like this, kind of similar to the first play. It's a third down and 3, so an important play, right? You got to be able to get rid of the ball at the right time, which isn't always as quick as possible, right? I mean, timing is everything. But first, watch when he takes the snap. Watch how he scans the field, right? I don't know if he had a specific guy he was going to throw to from the jump or if he legitimately was scanning the field. But either way, it's good, right? Either way, it's showing that he sees the field if he was just scanning the field. And if it was just to use his eyes to get players out of position, well, that's good too. So either way, you always like when you see a young quarterback looking around the field. That's always a good thing, not getting locked on to just one read. But this read, which on paper was the best one to look at, it is open, and you see how it's really well timed, right? This is right when you want the ball to be getting there. It is an accurate throw, and they pick up a first down and then some. I mean, they got a decent amount of yards on that play, actually. So really good stuff there by O'Connell. Again, the scanning the field, seeing what's going on, but also just the timing of the route was really well done by him, in my opinion. Like this one's another one where, again, these plays aren't highlight reel level plays. That's just not what happened to him. Like, he didn't need a highlight reel level play, really, but something like this, it's a man coverage concept, and you see it's Brock Bowers' route that they're going to look towards. There's kind of almost a pick play type thing going on, so Bowers is the guy they're going to eventually look towards. O'Connell takes the snap, he looks in that direction right here, and, Bowers is wide open, right? This is another one similar to that play I showed you earlier. If you're missing this throw, you're not getting the starting job. But there's more to making a throw than just getting the completion, right? You want to give it to Bowers in a way where, hey, what's the big thing of Bowers? What do we all talk about? Is, oh my God, he's so good in open space. You get him the ball in open space. He's so good with the ball in his hands. Well, you want to make sure you give him an opportunity to run after the catch. This throw does exactly that. I mean, I guess you could argue it was a touch low, but not really too much. I mean, it was a good enough throw to where Bowers can turn upfield and get more yards. So is that a 10 out of 10 throw? No. But is it like an 8 out of 10 throw? I would say yes. And that's kind of what O'Connell was doing. He was just making the consistent 8 out of 10 throws, which was resulting in consistent completions. And there was, this next play, I would say in some ways you could almost argue this is the closest thing to a highlight, even though it's not, still not a highlight. I wouldn't call it like a highlight reel level play. But again, you have Bowers running kind of the route you see on the screen on this 3rd down and 1. O'Connell is going to take the snap. He runs a play action. He looks towards Bowers, and Bowers is definitely open. I mean, if you get the ball to him, this is an easy 1st down. The obvious issue, though, is he's about to get clobbered from behind. So you're going to have to make this throw while getting hit. That's no easy feat. But as you see, he is able to do exactly that. He gets the ball over to Bowers, who picks up some, again, Bowers doing a really nice job after the catch as well. I made a whole film study on him on this channel if you're interested. That was right after the game came out. But yeah, I mean, really good stuff by O'Connell. Again, not a highlight real level play, but good stuff here. And even like the negatives of the drive weren't really his fault, in my opinion. Something like this, it's you see the concept, you see how it's 3rd down and goal, have a few players just running kind of right at that goal line. Hopefully they can get open. O'Connell is going to take the snap. He looks in that direction, and Minnesota's all over it. You could throw it to the receiver who's kind of running more towards the sideline, but I don't think that would work. There's a Vikings player rushing in. It's a tough situation for O'Connell, and there is now pressure behind him. I do, though, think you could put a nitpick on this if you wanted to, in my opinion, because watch how O'Connell is going to handle the pressure. He kind of runs directly into the pressure, whereas had he been able to, if this is Madden and you can see everything, you're obviously going to the other side of the tackle and maybe being able to rush in for a touchdown. I think Minnesota was still over it, but you could at least, I don't know, throw the ball away, give yourself the opportunity to go for it on 4th down if you want to, right? So definitely some nitpicks to be had on this one. But as a whole, again, for this play, it wasn't really his fault. And the plays that worked, you could argue weren't like just because of him, but he was doing his job on them. And the plays that didn't work, I think you could also say didn't necessarily not work because of him. So yeah, I mean, as for Aidan O'Connell, the tape was solid. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of a unique performance, I would say, by O'Connell, because he just didn't have to do a ton. It was kind of a more relaxed drive, I suppose, from the quarterback's perspective. But hey, if you can, drive the ball down the field, that's good. And certainly they will take that. So for me, for O'Connell, it really kind of, in many ways, comes down to just how they view him and Minshew going in. And I think if they viewed O'Connell as the starter going in, but maybe Minshew can win it, well, I think O'Connell, at the very least, hasn't shown any reason to have him lose the job, which, might be all he needs. Although, if it's the opposite, if they're leaning towards Minshew, I don't know if he showed enough to win it either in this game. He will get another game to determine it, though. So, hard to say exactly which way the needle is moving at this point. Again, I made a whole Gardner Minshew film study, so check that one out if you haven't already. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Aidan O'Connell. Before I go, though, just should mention, I do have a movie channel. If you like watching movies, Jackson Kruger Movies is the name of the channel. The link is in the description for it. Have some fun things like some tier lists, some movie reviews, talk some other film topics that I just find interesting. So that seems like a kind of thing. Check it out. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.